Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to code a language sample using SALT software. So first you need to download the first practice transcript, which is in Lab 10 on coding the practice samples. You'll click right here and then go ahead and save that on your computer. Okay, now you need to open the SALT program that you downloaded. Okay, and we want to click on Open an Existing Transcript. And then you just need to find where you saved that transcript on your computer. Okay, and that brings it up for us. Okay, so you can see that the header information's already been put in here for you. This is a 4-year-old female. She's in preschool, and our context is a conversational language sample. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is check for any errors in your transcription. So these aren't errors that the child made, but these are errors like missing punctuation or punctuation in the middle of the sentence that you can't use, or maybe a bracket that hasn't been closed, those kinds of things. So you're going to click Edit, check for errors, and it found a couple, so we need to fix those before we can run any analysis on this. So we're just missing a punctuation here. We'll put that in, and we're missing one right here. And I'll put that in and close. Okay, so now I want to go through my sample and I want to look for any mazes and put those in parentheses. So mazes would be filled pause words like So I'm going to put, we have an right here, and we have a right there that'll go in parentheses, and looks like that's it for mazes on this sample. Other kinds of things that would go in parentheses would be if the child had any repetitions or revisions. Those would also go in parentheses. And the reason these need to go in parentheses is so those words don't get counted toward the child's MLU when it's calculated by the software. Okay, so next we need to go through and code any errors the child made. So we have, she wants some lunch. That looks good. She says, I want a sandwich. Eat it. So that's fine. That's an imperative, right? So it's the implied you. So it's okay that it doesn't have a subject. Same with do this. They're sitting, this is me, and this you. Okay, so here they have omitted the copula is, so you just use an asterisk to show that it was omitted and type in what they omitted. We're married, where are the kids? They runned in. Okay, so we have an over-regularization error here with that past tense verb. So you're going to put in a bracket and then an EO, error over regularization, colon, and then put ran, which is what they should have said. They want to get lunch, but they can't. I think I'll make a sandwich for the cat. Kitty likes it. Okay, I'm done. Okay, it looks like those are all the errors, so we have those coded. Now we want to go through and identify our roots. So this is how the program goes through and finds any morphemes for you that it thinks should be slashed. So you're going to go back to Edit and identify roots, and it's going to go through and find these for you and bring them up, and then you'll select the form. Sometimes it'll have more than one choice. So she wants some lunch. It's identified this as a third person singular S, which is correct, so we'll insert that. She says, I want a sandwich, another third person singular S. They're sitting, so that's a contracted auxiliary, and it's got the same for both, so you can just select the top one. Okay, and then for sitting, for the ing, it has two options, to not slash it or slash it. In this case, it gets slashed because it is a present progressive ing, but you'll want to be careful and not slash any ing words that are gerunds. We're married, so that is a contracted copula. It would get slashed. So married, it has it so you can slash it with the past tense ed or not. In this case, we would not slash it because this isn't a regular past tense ed, it's a past participle. So you would select the top one. And we have a plural S on kids that would go in. And then we have the contraction can't. I'll gets slashed. Another third person singular S. So here it's giving you the choice of either third person singular S or plural S. And in this case it would be the third singular. And a contracted copula. Okay, so it's gone through and we've slashed all our morphemes. And we've put our mazes in parentheses and we've coded for errors and omissions. The final step will be inserting your SI or subordinating index codes. So you want to go back to Edit and Insert SI codes. Okay, so this will go through, and these are all child utterances, but if you had a regular transcript with both child and examiner utterances, it would go through and just select the child utterances for you, and then you go through and select the appropriate code. So this is for the number of clauses in the sentence. It can have 0 or more, or you can also exclude an utterance if it should be excluded, if it was like an answer to a yes/no question or an elliptical response or just a fragment of a sentence. You could exclude those. Okay, so she wants some lunch. That has one clause, so we're going to insert SI1. She says, I want a sandwich. That has 2 clauses, so we'll do SI2. Eat it. Again, that counts as a full sentence because it's the implied you for the subject, so that gets a 1. If they did have a sentence where they omitted the subject and it should have been there, or they omitted a verb, those kind of sentences would get the SI0 score. So this one gets a 1. Do this, another imperative, that gets a 1. They're sitting, that's 1 clause. This is me. Okay, so this one and this you, they did omit the verb on this one, so that is going to get a 0. We're married gets a 1. Where are the kids gets a 1. They run in would get a 1. It's okay that even though they had an error on the verb, they did include the verb, so that would get a 1. They want to get lunch. This gets a 1, even though it does have that infinitive clause in it. If you'll recall from your instructions going over the SI coding scheme, SALT does not include infinitives as extra clauses, so this just gets a 1. But they can't gets a 1. I think I'll make a sandwich for the cat has 2 clauses. Kitty likes it has 1. And okay, I'm done has 1. Okay, so we finished that. We have our sample fully coded now, and the next step will be to run the analysis, which I will show you how to do in the next video.